greensandmachines.com.
Well folks, welcome back to the garden. It's been nearly a month since I've last given you an update. I've been either busy or there was nothing really exciting to present about because the last few weeks would have been, oh, it's another 100-degree week. Oh, it's another 100-degree week. Oh, you have basil. But that's kind of what's going on right now. You can see now we have some really well-established basil plants like this guy here. Look at this. Those are some extraordinary roots, don't you think? So the system's kind of been where I would take cuttings from the basil. Yeah, the system's been I take cuttings from the basil plants like that one, well established. Then those cuttings go into the propagation chambers. The extra leaves I'd use to go make pesto, and the pesto, in fact, is very delicious. Homemade pesto, nothing beats it. Absolutely nothing. So then you'd end up getting new cuttings that grow roots, like this guy here. And then these eventually make it their way to the bottom rows of the garden. So the only things living in here, aside from the basil, is Swiss chard, and there's about maybe 4 Swiss chard plants. Pretty much nothing kills Swiss chard at all. So that's good to know. I'm going to give you an anecdote why I think this kind of garden is the best if you're a frequent traveler or are away from home several days at a time. With the installation of those new filter screens I put in each of the active channels, I haven't had a single channel plug at all. So that's going to be part of the new design. That's going in the book as soon as I edit the next reversion. But this week, I've got a buddy of mine. He's out of town, but he grows pretty much a soil-based garden. So I'll show you those plants here in B-roll. So I'm plant sitting for a week, and if I were to take a similar week vacation, I wouldn't need to go find someone to go watch over the plants. Like this, you just fill up the reservoir, make sure the nutrient solution's topped off. You just set it, forget it, come back in a week and see how it is. I mean, you may want someone to look at it to make sure some extraordinary event didn't happen, like an animal knocks over the garden, or maybe there is a plug. But for the most part, I've been irregularly checking up on this thing. Not as good of a gardener as you'd expect. And well, I think this garden, just for its design and how it functions, it's perfect if you're away from home or not home for several days at a time. Yeah, if you would like to build a garden like this one, I still am selling the plans on Etsy. They're inexpensive, so you can go check that out. The link is in the description below. So upcoming for the rest of the summer, though, I'm hoping that I could fill the rest of this up with basil. I'll have to cut out a few more screens for the other 2 sets of channels. Shouldn't take long, though. I've got plenty of screen, and the screen's pretty cheap. If you want to see more updates like this, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe. If you did build a garden like this one, I would like to see the photos. You can send them to me on Instagram, or that's probably the best way I could see them. It's the @greensandmachines page. So go follow that if you're not. I do post, sometimes I post updates regarding the garden on more often so than YouTube, so you can see it there. If you're curious on how to make pesto from basil like this, there's a video I'll link in the description below. The pesto, very delicious. You'll never have pesto better than homemade stuff. So check that out, and we'll see you in the next video.